BMBA Basketball is excited to announce that we have commenced junior basketball matches at Stonnington Sports Centre on Friday nights. Now we're inviting you to join us in these exciting new match concepts and structures. Our games are played at the magnificent Stonnington Sports Centre located next door to the Chadstone Shopping Centre. These courts are modern, have great temperature control and have fantastic facilities to host junior basketball matches. Our kids are now enjoying playing at this magnificent venue. On top of that, they are also enjoying the new features and concepts of junior BMBA matches. Features and concepts not seen before in junior matches in Melbourne. These features include a fully timed 60-minute match schedule, where the game clock stops on every whistle. This means there is no wasted time and our juniors get to play every minute of their match. Our juniors are also enjoying playing with a shot clock in each of their games. This provides another unique and exciting aspect to our junior matches. Due to these features, our players and coaches will gain more of the elite level experience. This will develop both their game knowledge and understanding. Buzzer beater plays will be an exciting part of our competitions. At BMBA Basketball, we are committed to providing junior basketballers with opportunities not found anywhere else. We are thrilled that we have now begun that basketball journey. To achieve this, we are also committed to very important things. We will be providing the best coaching program in Melbourne, where we cater for the development of coaches to an elite level. We will also be delivering a professional, efficient and service-orientated referees department, delivering officiating to our juniors in a unique and innovative manner. This is just a taste of some of the exciting initiatives we intend to implement for our junior basketballers at Stonnington Sports Centre. Now we want to welcome even more boys and girls into BMBA teams.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the BMBA Podcast for this week, the 16th of February, 2026. Sorry if you see, not in my usual office because it's been a pretty hot day today. My upstairs office gets very hot, so we've come downstairs and my dog there he is. He doesn't like it. He wants to go outdoors, but I can't let him. I've got to be careful what I say because if he goes out there he'll start barking and I'll get neighbours coming across and all sorts of things will happen. So, welcome to the BMBA Podcast, a podcast where we go over all the news, events, information about BMBA Basketball. Sorry, I just put my phone on silent. Do not disturb. Do not disturb. There we go. Just so I don't get that going off while I'm on here. All the updates and news. So, hopefully this will get bigger and better as we go on. As you can see, the downstairs office is not quite as well set up as the upstairs office. So anyway, onwards and upwards with the podcast. This week, we just want to go over the events of the weekend. We'll share a game result from our domestic game on Saturday at Dandenong. For those who are not around the club, or you might be just joining us to get some information, we have domestic training and some now intra-club games happening at Stonnington, but we play our version of rep teams at the Dandenong Basketball Association, and their best competitions are probably a higher level than most rep competitions anyway. So our boys also get to play, our boys at this stage, there will be girls teams eventually, also get to play in tournaments where they play up against rep teams too. So while we are not a rep club yet, we do get the opportunity to play in rep standard competitions and rep teams at different times of the year. So, we're developing along quite nicely with that. And there is, which I'm sure the parents are grateful for, a lot less travel involved in what we're doing. So Friday night, couple of big developments on Friday night. One, we continue to grow. We have now got a bunch of kids, especially in our first session on Friday night, too many kids, which is a good problem to have. We've just been given some more court space on Friday for an extra hour to begin with. And we've also got, so we're going to start at 5 o'clock through to 10 o'clock on court 3, but we're also going to have some court space, I think between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock on court 4. So we're going to be moving, and our under 14 parents are going to be very happy about this. we're going to be moving, instead of pushing our under 14 intra-club game back, we're going to be moving those earlier sessions now forward, and our game times can stay where they've been so far. So the games will be at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock, as they've always been, and we'll have some training programs beforehand, which means we'll have a bit of a half an hour bridge also to get some warm-up going and the coaches organising the game going, which is good. So all our basketball plus kids who then follow on with the game will get a full session of basketball plus in, and then we'll get sorted for the game after starting at 7 o'clock, which we'll have half an hour to do, which is good. The kids can get a drink. We can organise their tops. We can sit down the scorers. We can organise everything just nicely. That's not to say that there may not be changes to those game times in the future as more teams come in. But the good news is in the under 12 age group, we could definitely field 2 teams. We are probably not far off forming 3 teams. Once we get to 4 teams, we start an official competition. And that can be just all BMBA teams. It doesn't have to be teams from other clubs. So if you watch these videos, these podcasts from another club and you want to get involved, lots of reasons to do it. Our kids, I think, are really enjoying it at the moment. We've got kids from other clubs who are joining our ranks under the BMBA banner. And they're enjoying the longer game time. You know, our games go for a full hour schedule. We've got 4 6-minute quarters, but they're fully timed quarters. So the clock stops on absolutely every whistle. So the games go longer, and the kids do not lose game time due to substitutions, timeouts, quarter time breaks, all those sorts of things. The clock stops, so the kids get the maximum amount of game time. They play with the shot clock. That's been a bit of fun to begin with, but it'll get better the more people understand how to use it, which just gives another aspect to the games, and it's great for the kids to start learning on how to play for that when they play harder competitions later on. Another concept that we do that the parents from these other clubs are loving is up until the end of term, through the term of any season it'll be, we have what we call these, I don't want to call them development games because that sort of takes away from it, but it has a development ethos behind it, if you want to call it that. So all our games leading up to our last 2 weekends of any season, we'll play games, we'll keep a scoreboard, we'll run a score sheet, but what we won't do is keep a ladder. Now, there's a couple of reasons why we do that. We want all our coaches, whether a BMBA coach or another coach, to encourage their kids to try things on the court. We also want our coaches to encourage things they might not otherwise try because they're worried about losing a game in their position on a ladder. We also want our coaches to give all the kids some court time. Again, some coaches will get to the point they need a game to get in finals or do all this or to knock off the top team. So some kids miss out and they'll get barely any court time. So in our games, we don't keep a ladder. And at the end of the year, we have a round robin knockout tournament. So that's once we get up a 4-team competition, and if it's 6, 8, 10, whatever amount of teams is, those teams will play each other at the end of the season. So right up until the end of term, the games are played, they're competitive, teams want to win, but if you lose, it's not a big deal. You know, you're not going to lose a position on the thing. What you're actually doing as a coach is trying to develop your players so at the end of the season, when the round robin tournament comes around, when results will count, your teams are prepared and you've given every kid a really good chance to develop their game, and you're giving yourself a chance to develop as a coach as well. So parents who've come from other clubs into that actually loving it, because we're telling our kids, you know, to try different things on the court that most coaches normally wouldn't encourage their kids to try. So both our kids and those other kids that have come in are loving that aspect to it, because our kids are encouraged to try a different dribble, a different shot, different things that they might not have been able to try before. And our coaches aren't, you know, they're just giving everyone court time, and they're trying different things, and they're abiding by our matchup rules and other rules that we've got to help the kids have a more enjoyable game. So we think that is working really well. The under-12 game, we're also mixing the teams from week to week at the moment until we start a comp. Then we'll settle the teams down. And we had a brilliant game that got decided on the buzzer, which was really good. Our under-14 game as well, we've got under-12 intra-club games between BMBA teams, and we've got under 14 games between BMBA teams. So we would love to welcome teams from other clubs, but we're also content to build 4, 6, 8 BMBA teams and then play. That may take us a bit longer, but we'll have everyone on the same path, pulling in the same way if they're all BMBA teams. When you have other clubs come on board, sometimes you can get a little friction there. So we don't want that. We just want to have the kids in an enjoyable format where their games can develop and they can improve every week, because we're encouraging them to try things, and we're encouraging our coaches to try things and really get behind their players and back them up. So far, it's working really, really well. We've got all the bugs out of the system. You parents that are BMBA, please try and get in these score benches. In both under 12s and 14s, a lot of the time it is the same parents. Though the 14s, actually, I'm noticing there's a lot more parents get involved. The 12s, we're getting, excuse me, I've got the hiccups. We're getting a lot of under 12 parents simply dropping and leaving. It would be good to get more and more parents to stay around, watch your kids' game, and learn how to do the score bench. So we can start a good rotation. Because remember, when we split these into permanent teams, each team has got to provide at least one scorer. So it's a good thing to try and get on there now. We're going to do some online courses for that. Another good thing that started last Friday, we started our first on-the-job training for 4 boys who are going to be both referees and coaches. BMBA Basketball is a proprietary limited company. So anybody that we bring in will be a paid employee, coach or referee. And one of our conditions of being an employee is you learn how to referee and you learn how to coach. And that way, for example, a person may be able to coach a game but then become a referee the very next game. Or they might coach one week and referee the next week. We need referees and we need coaches. So it's kind of silly to have a coach in there for one game, get paid for his team, but then not be able to earn any more dollars. So what we're trying to do is you might coach a team, then referee 2 games. So instead of getting paid for one session, you get paid for 3. And like I say to the people who come on, it's better than flipping burgers. So last week, for you BMBA parents, you would see me running around with 2 younger guys. This week, the same thing will happen. It'll be probably 4 younger guys. And we just ask you to be really careful as we're training those guys up to become proper referees. And if you've got, just give them a chance to learn. Doesn't matter if they get decisions right or wrong. We're trying to teach them. And parents were brilliant last week with the way they approached it. It was really good to see. And we would encourage everyone to do that and get behind and support our referees. By doing it this way, because our coaches and referees will be doing both roles, we do anticipate and demand that there's a better relationship between both referees and coaches and referees, which should just naturally come because they're both working hand in hand in what we're doing. If you've got an older son or daughter that would be interested in becoming a referee or a coach, get them in contact with me or shoot me an email and we can get them on board with the training. So when we say on-the-job training, we are developing online pages to the juniors, kids, whatever you call them, for everyone my age, they're a junior. They can get online and they can study things like with refereeing, positioning, hand signals, what's a foul, what's a violation. They can do that online in between their commitments on a Friday. And then it will get reinforced with me taking them around. And every week they should be just getting better and better and better. So that'll be able to allow, for example, kids who are studying VCE or at uni, they can do their own training at home through these online lessons that are up on our website. And then we can reinforce when they turn up for their games what we're doing. We're going to be doing an online page of training for our refs and an online training page for our coaches. So they don't need to be intimidated. We are going to be getting a special polo. That's probably going to take us a while. So they can identify both coaches and referees as we move forward. So, that's exciting in itself. By the end of this term, we should have at least 4 refs and coaches who can coach our teams and referee our games. and we don't have to be relying on trying to drag other people out from outside the BMBA. We'll just keep recruiting and training BMBA people to become our referees and coaches. So that's exciting. If you want to get involved on it, please do that moving forward. Results time. Sorry, get my glasses on. We'll share a page. Our under 14 boys, we're playing hard. We're improving every week. This is out of Dandenong. We've got a tournament coming up very soon. We lost by 6 points on Saturday. It was a bit like last week at the game. We could have easily won. So as a coach, that gets a little more frustrating. I do not know what's going on here. Hold on, guys. Hopefully Player HQ will refresh it. Oh, my God. Bear with me. They do these security checks. Check the hats. I think that's them. There we go. Now it'll come up. And there is our game from the weekend. So as you can tell, we played this mob a while ago. They beat us more comfortably than that, so we've improved. For me, as a coach, look, when I say frustrating, it's not like angry frustrating. I'm happy with the boys' effort. Something I said to them, the effort was really good. We're just making some poor decisions. It's not skill error. It's more learning the game and understanding game management and what you should be doing at certain times. We're making some errors that we've continuously made all the time. So until we get rid of those, we'll lose games we should be winning. And that was the case on Saturdays. But there was also some very good things we'd done for the first time. We led all first half. We were very unlucky not to be in it further. And the good part that the boys did is we got down by a bit, but we kept playing and brought it back. Zachy Chester had a very good game, 13 points. Had a few open looks in the three, which he'd normally have a good chance of hitting one or two of those. But unfortunately, we just couldn't get one to drop. But he played really well inside their bigs, and their bigs actually slaughtered us last time. So our guys are really good against them. And we also got them into a bit of foul trouble, a couple of them. So as you can see here, we had one guy with 4 fouls, another with 3, another with 3. We let this guy off the hook, number 1. That's the guy who ended up beating us, which was a bit disappointing. But Zachy got 13 points, hit 3 free throws, 5 2-pointers, did a great job. Jackie Jamison, he's improving with every game. He's really coming on. So he got 9 points, 1 from the free throw line. He had a few free throws. We've got to get him on. And usually he's pretty reliable, and he had 4 made baskets. So his defense, his effort, and all that is really, really coming on. Caden had a pretty good game, got 4 points. Could have got more. We've got to work on those free throws, which is a common theme. We only hit 6 of them. I reckon we had 10 or 12, and in a tight game with, only losing by 6, it can come back and bite you a little bit. So the boys improved. But we're still in the hunt for a playoff spot, but it's going to be a bit uphill now. Not that that's a big deal. We're at bottom. Most of our team is bottom age, and the rest are bottom age. So next year we're going to have some of our team top age and others bottom age, and we should do really well. We're hoping to make A grade. That might present us with other challenges, but we've learned a lot. And what I'm loving is the boys. We haven't won a lot of games, but we're competing in an awful lot. And despite some big losses early on, we're really hanging in there. So I'm hoping we can get a real good run home. There's some tough games to finish off with, but that was encouraging. We'll see who we got next week. The fixture's not quite up yet. So, very happy with that. And if the boys can play like that in the upcoming Southeast Junior Basketball Tournament, they should do pretty well. So, we're looking forward to that. So we'll see how that goes. So for those who are in our normal stuff on the Friday night and on the Saturdays, there will be invites this week coming out for you to join a rep team, a BMBA rep team playing out of Dandenong. So we have our domestic commitments and we have our training commitments. And if we think you're ready, you will get an invite to join in with those rep teams at Dandenong, which is exciting. So there's a number in our list that we're going to try. We hope to get an under-12 boys team up. I don't think we've got quite enough to form a girls team, though we're getting closer. And hopefully in coming seasons that will come into fruition. And by the end of the year, hopefully we've got at least under 12 and under 14 boys and maybe our first under 12 girls team. That's what we'd like to be able to see. So when you get those, have a good read, look through them, and come back to us, and hopefully you all sign up, because what we're doing there is an exciting adventure, challenging but exciting. And the boys, I think, are really starting to get a handle on it. It probably takes 12 months to really get that sort of thing playing together, working together, understanding what we want and how to improve. And we're sort of getting to that halfway point with this team. So some very encouraging times and very encouraging efforts out of those boys at Dandenong. What was the other thing? So we've got another thing that's coming out very soon is some information about a shoot-a-thon. I went through this last week. I'm just getting it all together. Everyone should get that. We're going to be holding it, I think it's in mid-April. I could be wrong. You'll see it all when it comes out. And for those who didn't look at last week, a shoot-a-thon is where we get all our kids to shoot 100 free throws on a dedicated week. They get a sponsor for every free throw they make, so they get 10 sponsors. That's the goal. And if they make 50 free throws, they're going to generate $500 for the club. So you can get sponsors either through, family, friends, work, school, or even better, we run as a company a publication called the Community Forum. So something very unusual that most other associations wouldn't run. I'll get this up for you. I hope I've got sound here, by the way. Yep, I do. That's good. So I'll get this up because I think it's worth looking. I put this up last week. But we've been writing to literally hundreds of businesses and writing feature articles for them. So this is our homepage. All these little headings here. Oh, shared it. Wait up. Talking to myself. Let me share that. Wait up. So this is just another publication we do, and it's to promote local organisations and businesses. So all these, that could be, mostly it's businesses, but some of them, for example, could be a church, could be another sporting club, could be a charity. So there, for example, we've got the parish of South Yarra that we've covered, and the rest of these are pretty much businesses. We have done Red Cross and the Vinnies, Salvos, they're all in there. But what we do is we do these an AI feature article. So, yeah, I don't have the time to write them on myself, but AI is a very powerful tool if you haven't used it. We do have some, as you can see, there's more articles there. We do have some legitimate, well, I won't say legitimate, but we do have articles that aren't AI. And we've been covering businesses for the last 3 to 4 months. Still a lot to go. It's a big job in Malvern. So, for example, and Mentone. So if I type in Malvern into our search bar here, hopefully I've still got you all with me. There we go. So search results for Malvern. And what you'll see, these are all the businesses we've written for Malvern. It'll display a certain amount. You scroll down. We've written a feature article, and this is all complimentary. We've done it on the house, and as you can see, there's 9 pages worth of businesses. We've literally done hundreds of businesses at the Malvern end, 100 businesses at the Mentone end. Why am I sharing that? Because in the build-up from this week, we're going to be asking those businesses to come on board as sponsors for the shoot-a-thon. So, it might, if your kid gets one of those businesses and they hit 50 free throws, that business might have to put in $50, which is very cheap for the exposure we're giving them. So it's not like a club sponsor. This is where all businesses come in. Now, not all businesses will buy into that, but we will put that thing out. So we're basically going to give everyone who participates in the shoot-a-thon leads. So you'll be able to contact these businesses and sign them up as a sponsor. So, if we do that, we can raise some significant funds. We need to do that because, I'll try and get this up. Because as we're growing, our expenses are mounting, and it is not cheap. So I'll try and see if I can share this with you. So we did a bit of a, where is it? Windows, expenses. So as you can see, total weekly expenditure is about $1,300, because now you've got to pay for things like court hire, referees, coaches. There's a lot of court hire at the moment that we aren't fully utilising that we need to. So our expenses every week is close to $1,500 now, and we've got an expenses bill of $54,000. Now, at the moment, there's nowhere near enough revenue coming in to cover that. So we have to find unique ways to raise some revenue so we can. So, we're not even washing our face. In other words, we're not bringing in enough money yet to cover those expenses. In 12 months' time, we hope to, as we fill more and more spaces and as we grow. So we've gone from what we were 18 months ago when we first went into Stonington with about 5 kids, and we're up to pushing now 50 participants. If that keeps growing every term, by the end of the year, we're going to be, with nothing else other than word of mouth and a little bit of social media, we'll be up to 100 kids. If we can get an investor on board, or we can make this fundraiser work, we can get in a lot more kids, and we can actually, through that, bring in more revenue to make sure we're paying our bills as they fall due. But more importantly, we have enough kids to form enough teams to start our own competitions and give the kids something really exciting to participate in. So, and to secure our venues, both at De La Salle and at Stonington. We're well on the way to doing that. We don't want to take the risk of not having enough revenue to go down and do that. So we're going to ask everyone to get behind this shoot-a-thon and make sure that what we're providing your kids, which we don't think we know is being well received. And how do we know that? Every term, we're getting like at least a 90 to 95% retention rates of people who are coming back. We've got a lot of people who have been with us for several terms, and through word of mouth, we're getting more and more people coming in. So, we want to make sure that BMBA is around for some time, and it services your kids in the way you would like it to for some time. So the only way we can get through that is by, getting some fundraising happening and getting some money into the coffers, and then going forward later on, we won't have to worry about it. The revenue that the BMBA generates will cover costs, produce a profit, and we'll be off and running well and truly. So that's it from me from here. So we are looking for people to get online. What I'm going to be doing is putting out a WhatsApp message each week to promote this podcast. And if you want to, even if you don't want to come into the live chat, and I don't have anyone here yet, and we are, just got to check. Well, half an hour in, which is, unless I get some live chat, that's as much as I want to do, to be honest. But I will. People can send me questions, and then I can answer them through this podcast. The whole idea of the podcast is bring more news, more information, and obviously that information and news will grow and grow by the week. We'll have more highlights, more games, more scores, all that sort of thing. And once we start competitions at Stonington, we will be having those scores officially from the Stonington results. So a lot more news is coming your way. And if someone wants to get on here, for example, they've got a business and give a plug, feel free, as long as you're putting something in for the BMBA. So hopefully this gets bigger, better, and brighter as we do it, both for the BMBA on the courts and the BMBA podcast off the courts. So that's it for 1 week. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for supporting the BMBA. If you're considering supporting the BMBA and joining up in our programs or competitions, get in touch. I'll give you my email for those who might be. So that's my email. And if you just want to look at things and get some information before ringing, just go to our website, which is that. So that's my email. And obviously that's our website. So that'll do for me for one night, for another week. Thank you for your attention. And I'll see you all next Monday, 7 o'clock for the BMBA Podcast.